Yeah. We are live. Welcome to another episode of the Academy Sports Show, right here in the Academy Sports Show studios. If you guys want to be a part of the show, our Instagram and Facebook are our social medias, as well as the YouTube is here for you guys to comment live on the show. YouTube Academy Sports Show, Instagram, Facebook, all Academy Sports Show. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe to all of it, as well as you can listen on the Purple Podcast app on iTunes, as well as SoundCloud as well. Yeah, we're just gonna get through this stuff, and then we get to talking about what we need to talk about. I'm your host, Andre Douglas, and next to me is your host, Joel Williams.
Hey, man, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. As you all know, I mean, there's no way of skirting around this. We're just go, like Dre said, we're going to get right to the show, man. This show is what it is, man. Y'all know what it's about. You know, we're going to talk about the tragic loss of a legend that was Kobe Bean Bryant, a.k.a. Black Mamba. Share our thoughts on that tonight. Of course, you know, as always, good evening, Mr. Coleman out in Las Vegas. As always, you know, we love to talk sports. And so this is something that we have to discuss, something that we have to talk about because that is our show. So we will talk about this tragic accident that has taken place and kind of share our memories and our thoughts in regards to Kobe. And we welcome anybody to comment in any of our live feeds. We appreciate you joining us on YouTube, joining us on Facebook. Appreciate your comments, your feedback, all that stuff. And we're going to just, you know, try to work our way through this show. It's another a big event happening this weekend. That is the Super Bowl. We're going to kind of see how this show goes. Maybe we'll talk Super Bowl tonight, or maybe we'll come back on later this week and give our predictions and everything like that. But, yeah, man, Dennis just said it. As a father, it's hard. It's so hard, man. It is. So let's get our sponsors out the way, but we'd like to again welcome everybody to the show. And we appreciate y'all coming in and joining us. And hopefully we can, you know, just kind of talk through this and help just keep helping the process, man. Just keep helping us talk through this and kind of go through this and get through it because it still doesn't seem real. So, yeah.
All right, let's do the sponsor read, man. We love our sponsor here at Academy Sports Show, one being Bonds Plumbing, both licensed and assured. Bonds Plumbing provides top quality services at great prices, whether it's getting up to cold water, proof, and a daily home services. Call the man.
313-304-7786.
BondsPlumbing.com. Gives a map of all the areas that they service as well as the services that they provide. But we suggest you call the man.
313-304-7786.
Because he is the real MVP.
Yeah. Also, don't forget, if you're still working on that body, you're trying to get yourself back in shape, doing all that fun stuff, you know what you do for the New Year's, and you're feeling a little sore, you can hit the folks up at Be Well Massage Therapy. There's a New Year, new client special that they have going on right now. All new clients will receive an additional 15 minutes added to their massage services if you book between January 1st and February 29th. So we're coming up here on the end of January. You still got about a month to go for this special. You can hit them up at 313-472-5048 if you're interested. Again, that's 313-472-5048. Or you can email them at bewellmassagetherapy@outlook.com. Again, that's bewellmassagetherapy@outlook.com. Hey, listen, man, at a time like these, man, the fellas at Academy Sports Show want y'all to be well.
What's up, Coach? All right, man. So, Sunday.
Yeah.
Sunday. So I'm gonna tell you how this whole thing started. I think I started off the group chat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let everybody know what was happening. So I just left urgent care with my wife because my eye was messed up. And we left CVS to go pick up the meds. And I can hear the radio playing, and I hear, like, you know, the hip hop station. It goes something, helicopter crash, presumed dead. We'll have more reported by TMZ later. So I'm just kind of zonked, and then I asked my wife. I was like, "Who they say?" And she was like, "I don't know." So I go on TMZ, pulling about the house. I'm like, "No." bro. The initial post, everybody saw the first TMZ post. And I showed my wife, and she's like, no, like, that's not right. I was like, this can't be right, bro. This cannot be right. So I throw it out in the group chat. And y'all like, this ain't right. I'm like, bro, it can't be right. Like, this don't make no sense. And I'm like, that whole time, like, we didn't get out the car. Like, we was in the driveway that whole time. Kids knocked out in the backseat, just pressing refresh to see if any other major outlet was going to back up this report.
Mm-hmm.
10 minutes in, all the little sub outlets, the blogs, piggybacking off to the TMZ account.
Yep.
So they're using it. They're like, they want to be first, but nobody's really, solidifying this.
Right.
No CNN, no ESPN, no Fox, no nothing. So I'm like, man, this like, like pit of your stomach, right?
Yep.
And then you start to think like, dude, he do ride helicopters all the time. But how do you know it's his helicopter? Like, it's just more and more stuff. And then after about the 20-minute mark, it was like, bang, Woj bomb.
Yep.
On Twitter.
Yep.
And if you want fast news, it's always Twitter. Like, you want something quick, you refresh Twitter, it's there. And the Woj bomb hit, I'm like, man, if Woj said it, it got to be true.
Yep.
And he said reported to ESPN sources, so it got to be true. And I was like, man, that was just trying to get that information out. Because I know it's Sunday. Yeah, I didn't know if y'all was at church or y'all was with y'all families at the time. So I'm like, I'm just trying to get as much information as I can to y'all. And I know, I knew Whit was doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I knew y'all was. So I'm just trying to get as much information out. And then once the Woj bomb hit, it was like, oh, it's real. As soon as the Woj bomb hit, ESPN hit. And as soon as ESPN hit, CNN hit. And then all the outlets hit. And it was real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This is one of those things where Dennis is saying some things. The same here. 10 and 20 minutes later, pop-ups galore. When Chef and Woj tweeted I was done. Sad part, Kobe and Gigi went to church before that flight. Yeah, man, this is one of those things where you will always remember where you were when it happened. Like, you'll remember. It's only so many things in life, I think, that happen like that. Like, I remember where I was, like, when 9/11 happened.
Mm-hmm.
I remember where we were when Michael Jackson died.
Mm-hmm.
And when you talk to people, everybody has the same experience. Like, everybody says, oh, yeah, it ain't tight. Hold on, push, and then push back. We got a little technical. Hold on, y'all, 1 second. There we go.
Thank you.
Yeah. So everybody had the same reaction. Like, we all said the same thing. Like, when you sent that text, this is fake. This is fake. This is not real. This is not real.
Man, how many times they didn't kill off Betty White?
Right.
You know
like,
saying?
people have,
People
like, I went on Google and the only story you saw was the same TMZ story.
My wife checked Wikipedia. They
didn't update it.
I was like, bro, that's people can write whatever they want to on Wikipedia.
Yep, we were doing the same thing, and it was like I had my iPad, I had my phone, I'm watching the Pro Bowl because, like, to your point, is we all have our sources that we trust. And when I was actually home already, and so I was sitting on the bed when you sent that message, and my wife was walking out, and I said, "Hey, Kobe just died in a plane crash." And she was like, "No." She comes back in, sits down on the bed, and she's on Twitter immediately, like, refreshing it. And she just keeps giving me all these different sources that are agreeing with the TMZ story.
Mm-hmm.
But I kept telling her that's not enough for me.
Yeah.
Like, I need these outlets to tell me. Like, I don't believe none of those sources.
Yeah.
They said it, but I'm like, and they're using TMZ. I'm straight. I'm not getting my news today from TMZ.
Yeah, BB's blog.
And all that, man. But it was like, then you have to stop and think about it. Like, TMZ's, they're pretty credible.
Pretty accurate.
And that's not a story you mess up on. Like, you can't make that mistake because that will ruin you.
Mm-hmm.
So even the people at TMZ had to vet it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And so in the Pro Bowl, they cut it. And then my man on the Pro Bowl, he said it. And I'm like, there it is right there. And then when you said Woj said it, I turned to my wife. I said, well, this is our guy.
Mm-hmm.
So if Woj says it, it's
true.
It's true, you know. So, man, I'm going to be honest with you. I broke down in tears, bro. I just, and the first thing I kept thinking was, who else is on this plane? Because they said
First it was 5.
Yep, they said 5. And when they said 5, immediately I'm thinking like, man, and actually the initial report was 5, but they also said that Vanessa wasn't believed to be on board.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm immediately thinking like, please don't let this man be on board this helicopter with his kids, and his whole family gone. You know, so and you know, at the end of it all, man, when as the story had developed, it went from, we were watching ABC News and the live reporter on site said it's believed his kids were on board. So my wife screamed and she started crying, and it was like, now I'm like, please don't let, he just had a baby. You know, you just start going through all these thoughts, and then you start wondering what was the final moments. I mean, you just get out of control with the thought process, man. And then the video post, and you see that, and you see the explosion. You're like,
and the whole Rick Fox thing. Like,
and Rick Fox is dead,
like,
and he's alive.
They just throwing people in the plane with him.
Yeah, and it just got out of control, which, you know, a lot of people are mad at TMZ. Like, people are pointing out in our chat, you know, TMZ, you don't know, people didn't get notified. You know what I'm saying? Y'all said it, and people found out on the internet. You know, probably their family members, you know, found out on the internet. So it's like, it's just sad, man. It still feels fake. ESPN, I've been listening to ESPN all week in the car. It just still feels like it's not real. Like Kobe Bryant is dead.
It's unreal.
It's just unreal.
It's definitely unreal. Like, when we finally got into the house, I cut on ESPN. I'm like, it's the Pro. Like, I didn't see the cutaway. It was like Pro Bowl. And I'm like, why is it still on TV? Like, y'all need to move from somewhere. Like, and then I cut on CNN, and that was the first thing that was on. They had aviator specialists,
that lady,
and everything on. Like, they was on it. And I was like, bro, this is like, it's on CNN. This is real news. This is real news. And then I wanted some familiar faces, so I was like, let me try ESPN too. And then it was just there, and they were just hitting you with guest after guest. I was like, this is real. And that's messed up, bro. And it took about a hot hour after that happened. Then TMZ reported that his daughter was on the plane. And that was right after I got off the phone with you. And it was like, man, we hope his kids weren't on that plane. And then right after that, I saw that, I was like, dog. Took a screenshot of that, threw that out. I was like, man, this is just, I mean, it just got 100 times worse.
It ruined the day. Like, it ruined it. Dennis just said, he said, I was in bed all day sick, hugging my wife and kids. We were the same age. Exactly. Like, I remember, you go back, I remember when he came out of high school and into the league. Like, you know, now I'm 40. I'll be 41 this year. He's 40. You know, he died at 41. You know, it's thinking like, man, this guy's my age. And I remember being about to graduate high school when he came into the league. And I remember being a Mike fan, you know, a Jordan fan. So if you was a Jordan fan, it was tough to accept Kobe. And you know, the thing about Kobe was everybody kept saying he just wanted to be like Mike. He just wanted to be like Mike. He just wanted to be like Mike. And his mannerisms, like, he was the closest thing to Michael Jordan that this generation of basketball had. And then when being a Clevelander, I transitioned from Mike to LeBron. So then it was always, I'm for LeBron, and most of the time, for those of you who were fans of Kobe, you wasn't a fan of Kobe and a fan of LeBron. It was either one or the other. And for a period of time there, the league wanted them to play in the finals. Like, that was the marquee matchup that never happened because the Cavs always lost, you know, to the Celtics. So it's like the one thing that you had to bring yourself to when it came to Kobe was you may not have liked him, but you had to respect him.
Most definitely.
You had to respect him because when it comes to greatness, real sports fans know no matter how much you hate a guy, you respect what he is to the game. And that's how I grew up on Kobe, like mad respect for the guy. And then to see how he transitioned into the second part of his life with his family and with his kids, man, with his daughters, that right there was, I think, what added to the tragedy of this, because you started to see this dude share his love, his passion, his will, his mind. He was sharing it with the world, you know. He was sharing it with other basketball players, and then most of all, he was sharing it with his daughter. You know, and so it'll make you look at your kids, hug them, your family, your people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we all felt like we lost a family member that day, like literally lost somebody in our personal family.
Yeah, I couldn't stop consuming it either, right? Yeah. I couldn't cut the TV off.
There and watched it.
I couldn't cut the TV off. I couldn't stay off my phone. Like I kept watching hours and hours and hours. And, you know, eventually my wife, you know, she broke down and I had to comfort her, but I just couldn't stop watching. Like I had to make myself believe that this was real, right? Somebody just so iconic. And this last week we were talking about, you know, Eli Manning, and right now I'm at the point of my life where I'm starting to see guys' full careers come to an end. You know what I'm saying? And what's that? 2000, his first title. I was 13.
2000, 2001, 2002, or was it 99, 2002? Oh, it was 2000. Yeah. Yep. The Spurs won in 99.
I was like I was 12, 13, man. So I was there. Like I rode that way. Yep. And I remember the guys at lunch having those debates on the hard lunch tables. You know, Kobe, Shaq, who you got? I was always a McGrady fan. You know what I'm saying? And like those guys that stuck with them hard, like those, you know, they call us LeBron stands, but those Kobe stands, when they went hard for my mans. And the same thing, how I know how people feel about Brady, you just don't like him because he beating up on your team.
Right.
You just sick of seeing the same guy win all the time. You know what I'm saying? But some part of you got to turn into admiration and respect for that competitor, especially towards the latter half of his career. It's like, man, he's going to go away one day. I got to value this time and watch Kobe.
Right.
When he tore his Achilles, the game he came back on, I remember posting about it like, Kobe back. Like, the league is whole again. You know what I'm saying? The team is not really competing, but I get to watch Kobe on ESPN tonight. Like, you still get to witness that. Because I never was enthralled during Jordan. So Kobe's my guy. You know, Kobe's that's the era I live in.
Yep.
So like that's an icon, bro. That was the GOAT of the 20th century. And the first thing that really resonated with me was I remember when Michael Jackson died. And I don't know how old I was. Somebody can post a year, I can let you know. But I remember I was with my mom at my aunt's house visiting, and it came across my phone. And I said, "Hey, Mom, you know, Michael Jackson just died," and they lost it. I mean, they lost it. My mom, my aunt, her husband, they lost it. And I'm like, "It's Michael Jackson. Like, why are y'all tripping right now?" You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't even know him. Y'all don't even know him, and y'all in here like, we were supposed to leave 20 minutes ago.
Wow.
And y'all in here, y'all lost it. And now I get it, right? Your parents tell you don't understand now, but you understand when you get older. I understand what they went through in that moment right now.
Absolutely.
Because, I mean, my man's reach was wide, it was broad, and just the latter part of his career just made you want to root for him even more. And then after his career was over with, he just kept going. He just kept grinding. He didn't accept I'm a be an analyst or something like that.
Right.
He chose endeavors that was outside of his wheelhouse. The one thing that I see most consistently out of all these tributes and all these people that keep talking about him was his curiosity and his willing to do things outside of his warehouse. So it's like, I want to know how to do this. I want to learn how to go here. I want to learn how this works. And it's like, man, like this, and then accomplish it. Like I win Academy Award.
You're the best at it too.
Couple months out of retirement. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yeah, that was like I get it now. I definitely get it. I get what my parents and my mom and my aunts. I get that hardcore reaction to somebody you never met.
Yeah. Yeah. Big ups to everybody in our life. We appreciate y'all joining us tonight, discussing the tragic passing of one of the greatest to ever do it, man. Kobe Bean Riot, Black Mamba. Appreciate y'all comments. Dennis said they showed his last game on ESPN last night. It was hard to watch, but I needed it. Tears were shed, but again, I was smiling, seeing greatness. Good point. Dennis pointed out too. Supported the WNBA. Drea Frost said, "Keep living." That was actually something that we talked about too. Is like this guy was probably about to put the WNBA on.
Mm-hmm.
Like we know the WNBA, but let's be honest, it doesn't get the pub.
Yeah.
You know, every summer you get the full run of the media commercials, and then they play their games. And of course, you got a lot of young girls that enjoy going to these games. And in some of these cities, these teams
adults, boys, like it's global.
That's true. Actually, it's global. You got a lot of there are a lot of young people that go to these games and enjoy these games, and a lot of cities have really embraced their WNBA teams.
They just did their CBA. You see how far back they was. Like they just got their travel stuff right. They got now they staying like before they were staying in 3 stars and below hotels. Now they just like all their stuff, and they just now catching up to better amenities and better wages and stuff like that. They've been fighting for this stuff for a long time. Yeah. And to lose an advocate like that.
He's a huge advocate. His daughter was about to be the truth. I don't know if any of you have seen her play. But if you go online and if there are any videos out there out of the clips that you've seen, she played like her dad, you know, and that was something that really hit home for a lot of people because, you know, they had gone up to a game at UConn. You've seen some of the pictures there. And he was really being an advocate for this game of basketball for women. You guys know he was coaching that team. Dennis said he told Candace Parker when Gigi was 2 that she was going to shatter her records. Yep, you know, Mambacita. That's good stuff, man. It's like it's just crazy the impact. You hear all these, you know, Tiger Woods found out coming off the golf course, you know.
Man, yeah, that was
Rafa Nadal, you know, it's Neymar with the 24 salute, you know, Devontae Adams with the 24 salute. Just hearing about, and it was almost like you could hear the gasp of like grown men everywhere. And no shot to the ladies because there's women, of course, that cry too. Like you said, our wives cry. Like I'm sure it was like everybody cried. When I walked into work Monday morning, first thing one of my team members said to me was, "I'm sorry for your loss." And it wasn't even a joke. Like that's how it felt.
Yeah.
And because his reach, he touched so many people. And one of the consistent themes that you heard from so many people that talked about it was how it was something he said that drove them to be great. His work ethic drove them to be great. But people were really taken aback by how human he was. Like, because you saw this character on the court that literally did not want to lose. Like his mentality on the basketball court, it was Jordan-like. You know, they talk about the great ones and they talk about how those guys are not the nicest guys in the locker room.
Right.
They'll tell it like it is. They'll say what has to be said. They will dog you as a teammate just like they will do an opponent, you know, because they set the bar so high and they expect so much from their teammates that oftentimes people talk about players like these are hard to play with. They're hard to be to be a teammate of because of their greatness and the will and the want and desire that they have that's unmatched by anybody around them.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you hear about all the different, tributes, you hear kind of that balance between how he influenced so many people across so many sports, but then at the same time, you hear about how he touched so many people, how giving he was, how he surprised people by knowing what he knew and saying what he said. The anchor from ESPN posted her video, about how when she saw him in the hallway, she was so nervous to like, oh my God, there go Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
And he like, hey, you 8 months pregnant, girl, what you having? Yeah. Oh my goodness, what you doing walking around? What do you all right? When is the, and she was taken aback by just about how human that moment was.
Yeah.
It was like, this is Kobe Bryant, and he talking to me about my baby. Mm-hmm. And then he tells her, oh man, girls are the best. Like, I'm a girl dad all day,
Yeah.
And when you get a chance to see what you saw on the court and then see what we were starting to see in that public eye, him at the games with Gigi, hearing stories like that, it makes you want more, and we can't have it. And it doesn't feel like it's fair. Like, this is not fair. We don't get this. And prayers to everybody, every family represented on that chopper, but we don't get to see this.
Yeah.
And it sucks. It sucks because we don't get to see him and we don't get to see her. The way he talked about her and the way she played and all that, we don't get to see it. And it's just disappointing.
Yeah.
It hurts.
It does. And I mean, like you said, the family, I mean, when you woke up that next morning, like, man, that was real yesterday. Could you imagine? You know what I'm saying? Being his wife and his kids,
man.
Probably all in the same bed, just missing two people in their
family. I don't know what that house was like. They showed a video on TMZ today of he had gone out with his baby girl the day before, and they was at the mall and they had a daddy-daughter day. It was seeing that was just heartbreaking. Seeing some of these pictures, the picture that just keeps bringing tears to my eyes was the one where he's standing on the sideline. He just reaches back and his daughter gives him a little high five. It's like little stuff that you don't see, but this dude was just always like a superhero, man, to see. And when you talked about waiting on certain people, I found myself Sunday thinking like, I need to hear from Stephen A. Like it was certain people like I just needed when we turn on ESPN2 and you see people, they just guest after guest. I'm like, I need to hear from Stephen A. Jay Will was already broke up, but I need to hear from Stephen A. because he's the basketball voice kind of our.
Jay Will was on one that day.
He
was cussing on TV.
Yeah, he was on that. Told the NBA, y'all shouldn't be doing this.
He was on one.
It's ridiculous, man. It's like I wanted to hear from Stephen A. I wanted to hear from Shaq. It was like certain people you thought of. I thought of D Wade. I thought my wife and I just watched a video show on NBA TV where it was the interview with Garnett and D Wade, where D Wade talked about how Kobe, kind of helped him when he was young, but then when Kobe was in the playoffs, he called D Wade up like, "Hey, you the best guy to come off the screen. Tell me how you do it, how you split the screen." And he was thinking like, "This,
you Kobe,
you asking me." He
said the same thing. It's like, hey man, you come off that ball screen, what you do? He's like, bro, you cold.
Right.
Like, what are you talking about?
It's like stuff like that. So it's like, as I heard from them guys, it was almost therapeutic, but it was heartbreaking. And you saw that video of LeBron. And LeBron, like, I literally just talked to you before the flight. Early that morning, I just talked to you. Plus, the irony of all of this is crazy, bro. You pass him the night before.
Yeah.
You talk to him the next morning, he's gone.
He's gone, bro.
And then all these guys that he's influenced go out and just go ham on the court with these crazy stats that equal 24 and 81 and
Trae Young had a crazy game.
had a crazy
Buddy
game.
Hield had a crazy game.
Then the video of Buddy Hield going up in the stands and shake Kobe's hand. It's like all these guys was like they was playing on his wings yesterday. It's crazy how sports is like this, man.
Bro. And just more and more, Dennis brought up T-Mac. I grew up a huge T-Mac fan, and just to see those guys reconnect
with their daughters.
With their daughters and AAU and stuff like that. It's been, I won't say it's been great, but it's been nice to hear everybody's nice words and how, he affected different people in different ways. And in some parts, you just kind of want people to feel that about you. You know what I'm saying? Like when you needed me, I was there. I sent the text at the right time. I gave the right advice at the right time. I showed up when you need me to show up. And it just that when your icon and some people's mentors and the legends and somebody like that goes away tragically like that, not off these celebrities, they die off of drugs and partying and all this stuff, like tragically die. Like that is a tragedy, right? It just makes you look at your own morality, right? Like, bro, if he can go, anybody can go.
Anybody can.
Like he was on a helicopter to go see his daughter play, like to go coach his daughter. I think Rachel Nichols was like, or somebody was like, bro, that's the same thing. Just all us just hopping in the car and going to a game.
Yep.
And just ripples effects on multiple people's families.
Yep.
In one foul swoop. If he can go, anybody can go.
Yeah. So
it's like, bro, like when I say I love you, dog, that's for real because tomorrow is not promised. My kids, your kids, everybody, like it just gotta be like that from now on. And I remember last week we was talking about people that we needed to reconnect with on one level or another. That flew into my head. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like this is like it's ever fleeting because it can be gone and that person can be gone in a second. Yeah.
So Dennis just pointed out, remember, and I was going to actually ask this question, man. First, let me say this. Shout out to YouTube, man. Like, those of you who are in our YouTube chat, you could probably see this. Those of you on Facebook, feel free to jump over to our YouTube live. We're on YouTube right now as well. You can just look up Academy Sports Show and click on the live feed. But shout out to YouTube, man, on the live chat. When Dennis is posting his messages, and I saw when Whit did his, I see Weathersby said so unexpected. His picture is there, but the little icon for the face is purple. That's never like that. It's never that color. It's always a different color to identify the difference in who's talking. Today they're all purple. I don't know, Dennis, did you do that on purpose, or is that a YouTube thing? Drea said it's so sad, which it just really is. Like Drea posted something the other day. She grew up playing basketball. So it's like, this is my guy.
Yeah.
This is my guy. Dennis said he just peeped that. Wow. See, you didn't do that. Ben, shout out to YouTube, bro. I mean, it's just crazy how this has just touched so much. But Dennis pointed out, remember when they showed Kobe's last game, they bumped the Golden State Warriors game to ESPN2, even though they were chasing history for that record. That's how powerful he was. And then the team that they were supposed to play was Jason Terry's team. Kobe invited him to come out. Man, yeah,
bro, that video, there's everybody on the knee.
Yep.
In the Mamba Academy. As soon as they figured out, everybody just dropped down.
And then the weeping and the children and the girls crying. It's
just like everybody just flooded to Staples Center. Why you supposed to have the Grammys going on? Like, bro, like it's just all these moments. It's just like it just happened where just groups of people were just together at one moment in time.
In city of Los Angeles, man, Nipsey, then Kobe, and it's like I kept thinking about that. Like they got a parade, man. They got to take him through the streets. Like they got to let the city love on him. You know what I'm saying? They got to let the city love on the family. I hope that they do, because I'm gonna be honest with you. This is gonna be like watching an iconic moment. It's like when presidents die, they have this big thing and they put it on television. And if I'm at work, I might have to lose some productive hours. I saw my director of HR was in my Facebook feed. I hope I'm getting trouble for saying that, but it's like I'm definitely gonna record it. It's like because all of these moments that we're having, like it's therapeutic. Like we went to pick up our kids on Sunday from the Harris house, bro. We ended up singing like a bunch of songs. Just the kids started singing, and we started recording and singing, and it ended up staying up till Shauna's birthday.
Just enjoying the moment.
Just enjoying the moment. But it was moments within those moments where Stevens would just walk up to me and be like, "Man, Kobe gone, bro."
That's ridiculous.
And it would hit again, and it felt like that moment was allowing us to take your mind off of it. But anytime you wasn't focused on something, you came right back to the same thing. You know, it's like you kept landing back in that same spot, you know, and so and I already was dealing with another loss, and then this happened. It was like it just, you know, got out of hand, bro. It's like I was like, this is just too much.
Yeah.
Then it said the mayor of Los Angeles already said they will use resources to have the funeral, and it will be at Staples for sure. Yeah. So what's your greatest memory of Kobe? Like your favorite, or maybe your top few, if you have them, you can kind of point them out. But what are some of your on the court moments that you remember that will kind of always be etched in your mind, that stand out when you first think about them?
Yeah, I got a couple. I do want to say on the recall part, man. I just heard, you know, Shaq say, you know, like he had just texted my son that morning, like he just said Sharif, like, hey, Unc, what's going on? Good, nephew, you all right? Yeah, I'm good. I'm out here working. All right, man, keep doing your thing. All right, cool, appreciate it, Unc. Like, just checking on him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And Shaq had just lost his sister in October. Shaq is done. He was like, I don't know, like I ain't eating, I ain't sleeping, I'm not doing nothing. I'm not doing nothing right now.
Yeah.
Like it's just too much. And like that's just waves and waves of just grief. And it's like, bro, it's just like this is taking other icons out and other stars out. You know what I'm saying? Like that's crazy.
Yeah, Shaq said, you know, we wish we could have seen what would have been. And, you know, he admitted, he said, you know, egos are egos, competitive fire.
My brother, though.
Yeah, but that's my bro. Like, y'all wanted to make it like we ain't like each other. Listen, that's my brother. I love that guy. That's my brother. That's my niece.
Yeah.
You know, his words and Bron's words was when Bron posted his message on Instagram, it's like, and D Wade, man, it was like I said, it was like some of them guys. I heard Ernie tell his story. You know, it's like guys that, you know, kind of talk to him all the time, around him all the time, guys he shared with a lot. Hearing from them guys, man, seeing Doc Rivers break down was crazy. You know, it's just so much pain, man. It's like we're all praying for everybody to get through this. Dennis said one of his favorite moments is seeing him play through injuries, just his work ethic. He was a beast, and pain made him work harder.
Man,
yeah.
It was don't remember the year. I think it was a Sacramento series. Shaq fouled out, fourth quarter, overtime. Kobe just took over. That's when he gave you like just to be easy hands. Like I got this. I'm gonna keep getting buckets. You know what I'm saying? Shaq got fouled out, you know, late into the fourth quarter. They was like, man, Kobe, can he do this by himself? You know, then they went to overtime. And it's just like you just kept getting bucket after buckets. Like, I got this. Like, pump the brakes hands. Like, I got this. That was probably one of my iconic moments. Then, of course, the alley-oop to Shaq just to finish him off.
That's the one I was going to say, man. That one against Portland.
Mm-hmm.
Man, oh, man. Now, and the thing about that, bro, I was rooting for Portland. Because remember, like I told you, bro,
I was rooting for Sacramento.
I was rooting for Portland. I want to see Sacramento get there. I want to see Portland. And, like, they had their chances, but, bro, that dunk and then the face, like, you know, it's like, I was like, oh, this guy just every time, bro. Every time. It's like that was one of the ones that I remember the most. And then one that we kept seeing on TV last night was the one where he did he caught the ball on the run and did the reverse boy. The underneath with the dunk. That boy was so out cold. Those are some of the ones that stand out to me. Dennis said the mama face he would give was scary. You already knew it was a wrap. He was gonna kill you.
Man, yeah, talk about, you know, psyching your opponent out before you even dribble the ball. It's just, you know, two ways. It's just you was gonna get shut down, you was gonna get buckets on.
Right.
One way or another.
This man shot free throws with a torn Achilles.
Yep.
Shot left-handed.
Yep.
With a fractured wrist or whatever.
Yeah, a broken thumb for the whole season.
I mean, this dude did everything, man. He said the game winner off the backboard off D-Wade was classic. Yes.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes, that was classic. It was just so many. I remember the Mike J pose after he hit the game winner, but he went left hand with you. He gave you the left hand fist. It's like, come on, bro. Leave that for Mike. But now it's like respect.
Yeah.
It's just
Jalen said he was the remix.
Yep.
Like if Jordan's the OG, Kobe was the closest thing we had.
Closest thing, man.
He was the remix.
Closest
and
thing.
to a lot of people, and if you 30 and below, he is the OG.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just tough to see, man. I think you got your first glimpse of him, to me, him giving back when I remember when IT was going through his run and he was just tearing up the league and getting to the playoffs. And it was like, what's different? It was like, I just took a shot in the wind and I threw Kobe some tape. And he got right back to me and told me what I needed to do. And I was like, dang, Kobe helping people like that.
Yeah, when we first heard about that, I was thinking that too. Like, okay, Kobe, that's respect.
And it's like, man, IT was just balling. Like, that was break truck IT. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And he was just killing cats. And I was like, okay. And then once he got to the playoffs and got his little spotlight, he just really broke it down. I was like, okay, Kobe, helping guys behind the scenes. I see you. And then you hear about guys, flying out to the Mamba Academy, football players, basketball players, they just want to soak it up. They just want to be there in that moment, in that aura, because you always want to be around greatness, right? You want to just get a piece of that. You just want to have a sniff of that, just that greatness, and just hope that it rubs off on you. So, to say he touched the whole generation, these is his guys playing right now.
Oh, for sure.
These are his guys that grew up watching him. Him and LeBron.
Low key, LeBron grew up watching them.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the crazy thing. LeBron's close behind him, but you gotta know when Kobe came to the league, Kobe was the guy. Kobe was the high school guy.
He could have been an ass too.
Yeah.
Like he just could have been like, no, I'm not giving y'all nothing.
Your sister says this is not an actual on the court moment, but him coming straight out of high school to the league, the anticipation and the excitement behind the potential of his career, everybody was hyped and excited.
Yeah, he was the first guard that had hype.
Yeah.
Before him, it was all big guys.
Right.
Garnett and Kwame and all, and well, that was after, but he was the first guard.
Yeah.
That really had the juice.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, because even when Tracy came out, we didn't know. Like Tracy was sitting behind Vince.
Yep.
We didn't know what Tracy had, but everybody knew this kid had the juice. But his butthead of a coach wouldn't let him get no run the first couple of years.
Right.
But that was pretty cool to see. Ballhead Kobe to Fro Kobe. Blow back Kobe.
Yeah. Fro Kobe was my favorite, actually. Fro Kobe was my favorite. Dennis said, fellas, thank you for this. It's good to reflect on his greatness. Yeah, man, that's what this show is all about, man. This is all therapeutic, Dennis said players going off in his honor. Yeah, that's been the crazy part. Is like, again, like if you look at the numbers, I think they interviewed Buddy Hield and he was like, man, I had 42 points, like 8 rebounds, 40 points, like 8 rebounds and 5 assists. And he was like, if you take that 42 and flip it around, it's 24. And he was like, I didn't want to score anymore.
Yeah.
Like I didn't want to score anymore. And they were down 17 with like 2.5 minutes to go and come back and win the game in overtime because of the dumbness of the Minnesota.
He had a perfect fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Where he scored 20 points on 6 of 6 field goals, 4-4 3-pointers, and perfect from the free throw line. The first to be perfect in all field goals since who? Kobe Bryant. Like it just all lined up to be just crazy, you know?
I think Buddy Hield, not Buddy Hield, but I think Trae Young
had a 40 boy.
45. Yeah, 45. And he in 20, that's what it was, 45 points, I think, in 24 minutes. And he shot 81% from the free throw line. Dennis poses a question. Which Kobe was better, 8 or 24, or is it too tough to call?
I remember when they was retiring the jerseys, both stats were Hall of Fame stats.
Mm-hmm.
Like he got 3 titles in both. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Equal amount of points on both. Both careers were Hall of Famers.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I would never, especially in this moment, claim that I was on Kobe early and that was my guy, because I know guys that was on him early and that they pointed out, said that's my guy, and they rocked with him. I remember going to the playground as a kid, and those was the guys that rocked with him hard. So I would never do a disservice to those guys that rock with him that hard. So like to me, it's the 24.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? Like Kobe, he was great to watch, but I wasn't rooting for him then. You know what I'm saying? Like he was saying his arrogance was misunderstood, but it was just like, man, I hope this dude lose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He keep popping these good teams. You know, like I like Portland, I like Sacramento. Yeah. I want to see C Webb and Bibby get one.
Bibby get one.
Stojakovic was my guy.
Asia,
you know what I'm saying?
Bloody in his heyday.
But he keep popping them and popping them over and over again, man. But then that second half, like I didn't like Dwight Howard. So go ahead, Cole, get you one. I couldn't stand the Celtics. Go ahead, Cole, get you another one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I would say 24 resonated with me a little more than 8, but 8 was a killer too.
Yeah, Dennis, and something Dre just said to me, it made me think about the guys that rock with Cole. Dennis, if you could do me a favor, man, I'm gonna shoot him a text, man. When you see Kyle at work, let him know, man. And I'm thinking of him because that was his guy. And me and him used to have arguments at work. I remember working at CA, bro, and me and my guy Kyle would argue on Saturdays about who's better. and if you remember back to when the Cavs had those really good teams, regular season teams, and Bron was really getting into his good spot, his kind of cut, he was starting to kind of take over. Whenever the Lakers and Cavs played, for the most part, like Christmas Day or those big time games, the Cavs would win those games. And so people, and I used to remember like, come on, y'all gotta win tonight so I can go to work and talk about how I like Bron is better than Gold. Like,
bragging rights, bro.
I used to want to have bragging rights so bad, man, because that's how much I respected him. To your point, I was a Jordan guy. So when 8 came into the league, I hated. I did. I'm gonna be honest with you. I hated because to me, he was trying to be like Mike. And if you was a Mike head, nobody can be like Mike. Yep. We gonna stand our ground on this. You know what I'm saying? So I won't answer it to say greatness, but I will. Which one was greater? I'll tell you like this. I respected 24 more because 24 did it when they said it was done. It was a wrap. 24 did it without Shaq. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, that's Kobe. Because it's like, oh, really? Y'all think it's really just because Shaq was here? Okay, I'm going to show you.
Man.
They had their years. The Lakers had their years when they was down, and people beat him up. They kicked him.
Yep.
They kicked him while he was down. Like, we told you, it was all about Shaq. It was all about Shaq.
Yep.
And then he got his. And when he got his, then it was everybody was starting to praise him. And that's really when I embraced him more at that point, because, again, you can hate him all you want to, but you had to respect him. You had to respect him. And so as he battled with Bron, and I was a Bron fan, yelling at all the Kobe fans, and they was yelling back, I didn't once those battles took place, I started to respect him more. And then when he won those championships, then that's when I was like, man, nothing but love and respect for this guy.
Yeah, you can't deny him.
You can't deny his greatness. You can't deny what they have done, what he has done, minus. And that's what the great ones do. They make sure that they set themselves apart so that you cannot question anything about what they've done. You can never take that away from Kobe.
And he made sure you couldn't take nothing away from him.
Absolutely.
Because he was the hardest working guy on the court. I remember Jalen Rose was like, man, you know, for us, it was Mike. You know what I'm saying? Like, Mike was the guy. He was the pinnacle, and everybody else was underneath him. And then here come this young kid trying to play like Mike, walk like Mike, talk like Mike.
Shoot his free throws like Mike.
How dare
you? Shoot his gum like Mike.
How dare you shoot for the GOAT? You know what I'm saying? Like, people know who the GOAT is, and you got the audacity to say you can be better or close to this guy. Like, nobody was taking that, but he didn't care. He saw what the bar was, and I'm going for the bar off rip.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you know where I'm at and what I'm doing year one. This is my goals. That's your goal. All right, that's the bar right there.
The bar.
I'm gonna go get mine. You know what I'm saying? And to piggyback off the WNBA thing, man, this dude probably could have bought the Sparks.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like he could have bought a WNBA team, got him 2 more rings, and would have had more than Jordan.
Yep.
At the end of the day, you never know. He could have had the last laugh at the end of the day.
So true.
You know what I'm saying? He could have accumulated more rings as a general manager or as an owner because he was just so bright. You knew he was going to stockpile the cash like magic. You know, just getting your different ventures, stockpile that cash and go buy you the Dodgers, bro. Get you a stake in the Lakers. You never know what he was going to do. Maybe Jeanie Buss was ready to pass the Lakers down to him at one certain point in time. Or maybe he was going to go buy the Sparks or another WNBA team and go get buckets over there. Right. Draft his own daughter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's some Kobe stuff to do.
Yeah, that's some Kobe stuff right there.
And then go ring off 3-4 more championships and just be
Bryant
iced out.
Have Bryant family out there like that.
Man, you just marvel at the possibilities, bro. And then it just gets shut down.
Dennis said he would have coached him with Gigi playing.
It just gets shut down. This is like the possibilities of the things that could have happened. It was just so like whatever your emotion was, it was correct. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're sad because an icon died, you're correct. If you're sad because your favorite basketball player died, you're correct. If you're sad because a young lady died, you're correct. If you're sad that 9 people lost their lives in a helicopter crash, you are correct. Because this is a true tragedy. There's no other way to say it because young ladies lost their lives, adults lost their lives, people lost parents, people lost siblings, sons, mothers, daughters. I mean, like this was an absolute tragedy. And I don't care which way it goes, pilot error, weather error, mechanical error. I don't really see, I don't really care, to be quite honest. It's just a tragedy. And unless they say this is all the way that could have been avoided, it just hurts to even think about, his wife and his kids and the other people's families. One of the lady, her husband was on Good Morning America, letting everybody know who his wife was that was on that plane. Other people were affected, you know what I'm saying? And you never want to just, shoot that away because it was a lot of people that hurt that night. It was a lot of people that didn't come home to their families.
Yeah.
And everything is just a sad thing, man. And like I said, it just makes you look at your own mortality and just makes you want to, get things in order with the people that either you felt wronged you or you wronged them or things got lost in translation or miscommunication. Try to get those things right together. And just kind of love the people around you and just enjoy those moments and just keep having those moments as much as possible. I remember when my youngest son was getting born and he was like, man, just, let me help you out. This grind, bro, this grind. And I was like, bro, I appreciate it, man. And just set me up on a pedestal to just try to help me take my family to the next level. And I told you, man, I'm so grateful for that, but like, I just love spending time with my family. Like, I know this ain't going to be forever. And that terrifies me. People talk about their greatest fears. And, you never know what's on the other side. You have your face and things like that, but you just never know. And that's terrifying. But I know that I was there for every birthday, every holiday. I could have been out here, making all kinds of money. But, what my favorite line is, if my kids go to therapy, it ain't going to be because of Dad.
You got that right. You got that right.
It ain't gonna be because Dad wasn't there. Right. Dad didn't pay attention to me. Dad never played with me, bro. I was just playing. My son still got a Wii. Don't be mad at me. I just ain't balling like that. He's 6, okay, but he just wanted Madden, so I got him Madden 11 with Drew Brees on the cover for Wii, and we've been in there playing Wii Madden.
He don't know the difference.
He don't know the difference. He just want me in his room playing with him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My youngest son, Dad, you want to play with me on the tablet? This is the dumbest game ever, but I'll play with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And this right here, bro, like if anything ever happens to either one of us, Our kids have this to come back to.
Yep.
They have our faces, they have our voices, and they can look at us every night and say, "Kids, I love you." You know, like right here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what those vlogs, man. I look back at those vlogs and I go, man, they got this to see how we was, just in case, something ever do happen to us, man.
Yeah.
So it just puts a lot of things in perspective.
Yeah, Dennis said, great therapy, much needed, Joe. I salute you both. Feel better being able to release my emotions and thoughts on the platform. Thank you again. Family over everything. Respect. Yeah, man. Respect to everybody, man. It's interesting. I think about that word family, and you just think about some people call family, whatever you call it. It's your blood. It's your friends. It's people close enough to you. They your brothers, they your sisters. Outside of just the blood that flows through your veins. And so, like you said, from a mortality perspective, this just brings everything into perspective. Like you said, it's everybody hugged a little tighter this week. Everybody, said they love you a little more this week, and I think that's really what we need to pull from this. Like you said, it's just love more, man. There's so much crazy stuff going on in this world. So much. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's an impeachment trial going on right now, and I have not watched a lick. I literally just look at my CNN updates just to kind of keep up with it. But
there's a whole virus going on in Asia.
Yeah, the coronavirus is in Asia and coming, and it's here in America in 4 states. But
that could be it. We could be living in it right now. You know what I'm saying? That reminds me of the Planet of the Apes when they start off with the movie and all the places getting infected. I'm like, bro, this is happening right now. It's a wrap.
It could be over.
Don't even know it.
So it's like, at the end of the day, it's just stuff like this, like you said, just having a friendship, whoever your circle is, whoever you call family, just make sure they know how you feel. Make sure, like my kids, this is their uncle, so we call it the village, it's circles on top of circles. And, we have a brotherhood on the football field with the coaches and you got the church folks and you got your blood, it's just, you got all these people, and at the end of the day, this stuff can be over so fast. It could just be such a different situation. We'd be having a different conversation just at any moment. So the fact that, there you go, Dennis, the sphere of influence. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. So whoever's in your sphere, as we go through these days going forward, whoever's in your sphere, just make sure that they know. Make sure you spend a little time. Make sure you have a little talk with him. My son still, before he goes to bed every night, kisses me on the cheek and tells me he loves me. It's like, I know one day that won't be a kiss on the cheek anymore. It'll just be, Dad, I love you, man. It'll be a little stronger, but at the end of the day,
love you, old man.
Yeah, I still will make sure I do kiss my son and hug him so he understands it's okay to be a man and have emotion and love and care for people. And my daughter's the same thing. And we talk about a lot, what we try to instill in our children to understand their sphere of influence as well, and how your son looks up to my son and my son looks up to Trey and his cousin, Trey, Miles, and Myron, and his cousins, and the girls look up to TT and all those things. And so we try to just tell our kids all the time, man, pass that stuff down, pass that love down. And so you bring the boys over, we do our show, the boys out there right now playing, and AJ, Dad, can we go over Uncle? Can we go over Uncle? I want to see JoJo.
Yeah.
And, I go to my son and say, hey, man, you care if they come through? He's like, no, come on. And all they go do is play around. And so for a moment, JoJo can't be 10. He got to be 8. He got to be 7. He got to be 6.
Yeah.
He got to. But he gets it. It's because it's all about AJ and Drew having a good time.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, they'll go home and feel like they had a good time, and now you've done your part. So if we could all just do our part, man, and when it comes to this love and this family friendship, do your part, man. Positive energy. Be positive as much as you can. You see somebody hurting, help them out. Try to, just hit your sphere of influence, man. And this we'll get through this. Like, it seems unreal. Like, the streets were empty Sunday night. We was coming home, bro. It seemed like the streets was empty on the way home. And my wife was like, everybody at home watching TV. Like,
You literally can't pull away.
You can't get away
from it. It's a new
from
person to giving the story. It's a new person giving.
Everybody's at home watching
just
CNN.
Giving another story, man.
ESPN is there Monday morning.
Today was the Nets. It was KD. You got his perspective.
Yep.
Everybody was like, bro, I was waiting for LeBron. I was waiting for LeBron's post.
Me too.
I just kept going back to his page, I gotta hear from LeBron.
Yep.
I gotta hear from LeBron. How do you feel about them postponing the game? Supposed to happen tonight, and
I'm glad they did it, bro. And that's it's like they're definitely in it, right? I don't know if you guys heard the report from the writer that was on the plane. He was on ESPN, and he was on the Golic and Wingo show, and he talked about how when the news came out, they saw it, and somebody got a text, and then they looked and the security guard started moving. And the first thing they started thinking was, where's his family? And is this real? Because they're in the air, and then when Vogel gets up to walk to the front of the plane, everybody knew. And he said, every guy on that plane's inconsolable. It's like I can only imagine what they're going through, especially the irony of tonight was Lakers Clippers, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Stevens was telling me he had told Tracy McGrady he wanted to die young, but not in the sense of young, but in the sense of he wanted his legacy to be great.
Yeah,
man.
He said it as a young man,
without right. It's like
I just want to be
immortalized.
Yep.
And so tonight would have been Lakers Clippers. It's like the jerseys in the rafters. That was the absolute right move. I was moved every time I saw an 8-second violation and a 24-second violation. Yeah. I thought those were great moves, classic moves. They trying to make it happen.
The Pistons,
Madison Square had the purple and gold.
Pistons wore the 8 and the
24. Yeah, it's just
they definitely trying to figure out things.
But I agree with it, man. It had to be Lamar Odom story about the coma. No, I got to read about that. I didn't hear that one yet. So it's just more stuff just keeps coming out.
More. I want to hear Phil Jackson.
Me too.
That's another person I'm waiting to hear from.
I gotta hear from Phil. It's just absolutely right on that move. Absolutely right. I'm not ready, bro. I'm not ready to watch them play. And no,
it was hard to watch the guys playing on that day.
Yes.
Tyson Chandler,
tears in their eyes.
Bradley Beal, could you imagine getting that news and you got to play a game in an hour? It was that was heart-wrenching just to watch those guys have to go through that.
Yeah, man.
So when Jay Will said that, I don't even know why we having games right now. I know I'm gonna get in trouble, but I don't even care. Yeah. Why are we playing right now? Mike Breen came on the air, bro. Why am I broadcasting right now?
Said this don't even feel real.
This is not where we should be right now.
Guys found out in their shoot-arounds.
I'm watching a Pro Bowl. Why are we watching a Pro Bowl? Cut to ESPN right now. Cut this off.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
They had it on ESPN too. I was like, man, bring that over to the parent station.
Yeah, it was just of that magnitude.
Love you too, Drea. From both of us to you. Dennis said, Lamar Odom said, if God asked him to choose between him and Kobe, he would say him. Dang, bro.
Yeah, man. So, and then I heard that, they was just taking their cues from Vanessa. So pretty much, are we playing the game? They going back to Vanessa and the Bryant family. Whatever she wants to happen, happens. You know what I'm saying? They not ready to play a game or she ain't ready. It happens on her watch. You know what I'm saying? She gives the final call. And it's just pretty much the whole Laker organization. They didn't put out a statement until yesterday. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They not moving until they get the okay from this woman. Yeah. And so it was Lakers yeah, we can't handle this. Shot over to the Clippers. Hey, we respect it. Now they're not scheduled to play again until I think Tuesday at home. So that's going to be gut-wrenching. How do you get through that game? How do you get through that season? It's definitely hard to even think.
They play Friday.
Friday.
Yep. Friday at home against Portland.
Yeah, it's a home game.
Ugh.
So like you gotta do that. Like
I can't. I can't.
you
Like,
put
I
on the
can't-
Grammys
oh
and like they got
my
his
God.
jersey illuminated in the rafters.
Yeah, both of them up there.
You know what I'm saying?
It's so hard to say goodbye. Y'all know not to sing. It's so hard to say goodbye. Like that song makes everybody go away.
So it's just new waves of just stuff coming like that story you talk about. You know, I'm a girl's dad. I watched that this morning when I clocked in for work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I was like, and certain like, do you I don't know. Do you take it some kind of way that some players have chosen not to play? Because you know Chris Paul's not playing tonight. Kyrie didn't play the last night. You know, but other guys like Melo and stuff are playing that had, if not an intimate or a close relationship. Like, how do you? Everybody grieves differently, right? We all know Kyrie's an emotional guy.
Yep.
So it ain't no telling, you know, what his range of emotions is. But like you hear certain guys just saying, "No, I'm not playing."
I have no issue with that whatsoever.
Yeah.
I have no issue with it. Sir, I'm gonna tell you like this. One, to your point, yes, they do. People do grieve differently. But two, I think that this is a moment where yeah, it does. You're right. He said Melo go feel it. And it hits harder as a father. It does. It really does.
It do.
When you think about, because I got 3 daughters myself,
Man.
so absolutely.
Man.
But no, I have zero issue with guys saying I can't do it. And I almost would expect it. Like the young guys, and this is no slight to them, the young guys that played, I felt like those young guys, because they are the Kobe era, I think they honored him for going nuts like that.
Yeah.
Listen, y'all, please understand
Mamba mentality.
the realness of what took place over the last like 48 hours of NBA games. Every player influenced by Kobe that is the big name on their team has gone nuts. Like, y'all, like, do you understand like the power of spirit in this whole moment? Like, these guys are playing above and beyond their own gift and talent because of that driving force that is Kobe Bryant. And I say is because his spirit is going to live on for the rest of our lives. So it's like, it's that piece of it. But then there are guys that were just that close to him. That, like, Kyrie talked about that many times. Kobe helped me with my game. It's ITs of the world. Like, it's documented. There are certain guys that Kobe has taken under his wing.
Tatum should go out tonight.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
It's guys like that. So yes, at the end of the day, man, I have zero issue with anybody that knows him like that saying, I just can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh man.
Yeah, I agree, Dennis. Kobe would have been pleased to see, you know, some will say he's smiling down right now. Pleased to see what he saw these guys do. He'd be smiling, he'd be happy.
Yeah.
And you know what he would do? He'd probably tell them, that's what you're supposed to do. Go do it again. Go do it some more, because that's the greatness that's in you. That's the type of guy he clearly was, and that's the theme you hear out of every story.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, I think that just the layers of this, you know, the family's lost, him lost, his daughter lost. I know I saw Dennis say earlier, shout out to UConn for honoring her as a young lady who they figured that she was going to go there throughout her career. That was a place that they wanted her to go to, probably would have recruited her, you know, all that good stuff. The young lady in Oregon who put on the show.
Yep. Crazy, bro.
That he helped mentor.
That's crazy.
It's just like all different levels, all different sexes, all different leagues, all different sports. It's just that, I mean, that's a reach that we all strive for, right?
Yep.
That's like, man, he impacted me, and I only spent X amount of time with him.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But it resonated with me even more because I knew the kind of person he is, right? Or now in this situation was.
Yep.
So like every moment that I was given with this person is expounded so much because they took the time into my maturation. So it just means so much more. You know, it's like, yeah, like I don't know. Like Woj was on there talking about like this was the first guy to give me validity.
Rachel Nichols, same thing.
Like he sat with me.
Yep.
I came to him. He gave me stories that he never gave nobody else. And then once I got to this point, like I can trace back to when I became this guy. Like I wasn't always this guy until this guy helped me.
Yep.
And it was him. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, man, that's tough on a whole lot of levels. I don't think, like I said, when they had his funeral or whatever, man, I probably couldn't stop watching that either.
Yeah, I watched the Nipsey funeral and the drive around the city and got all the way to the funeral. Like I watched that whole thing that day. Like I didn't do anything, and I can only imagine.
I don't know how they're gonna do this draft. This
he would have been in the Hall of Fame.
This All-Star draft, this All-Star game is gonna be crazy.
Who's gonna give his Hall of Fame speech?
They already put him in the Hall of Fame. Colangelo already came out.
Yes.
Ain't no nomination no more. He in.
So now we got that.
It's like we ain't gotta wait to hear if he got in April. He's in. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else will deal with them later, but he's in now.
Yeah.
Like we don't have to. We all know he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
So and the guys that are going in with him too, like every one of those guys are first ballot guys, and it's like the speech, this like who's giving that, bro? Like there's just so much more to this, that we all have to deal with. Dennis just said he's like the big brother we never had.
Yeah,
it's
bro.
like there's so many more moments that are going to be coming up that we all have.
They said, what's my man? Who's the GM now? His former agent said that was Gigi's godfather. Bro.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of other layer is that to that? You know what I'm saying? When I saw
Rob Pelinka.
Yeah, what's my man who drafted him? That's with the Clippers now. Man, that man was distraught. He was like, that was like my son.
My son, yep.
That was my son that just passed. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I saw that boy since he was like, he wasn't even in the league yet. That was my son. I gave him everything. He lived with me. I gave it's just so many layers, and it's so disappointing. And we can honestly go on for hours.
Yeah, we can do it, man. Hey, shout out to everybody. I think in honor of, in our own way, Academy Sports Show, we send our prayers to the Bryant family and every family that was all the families represented on that chopper. Pilot, everybody, the three teenage girls and the mom and the dad and just everybody, all 9 people. Dennis said that Vanessa will probably speak at the Hall of Fame and the kids.
I don't even know, bro. I don't know if we'll ever see her.
I don't know.
Like either. I don't know if we will ever see this woman.
That's gonna sting.
Like you gonna get the glimpse at the funeral, but other than that, if I was her,
I hope
you wouldn't even see me.
I hope one of the girls coming up ball out too, so we can.
His oldest is a volleyball star.
Yeah.
She got it.
KG was the baller, and I hope that I don't know.
And his youngest daughter won't even know him.
Yeah.
Or her sister.
Yeah. The more we talk about this, it's just gonna suck. So we're probably gonna come back on the air later
Melo
this
just
week.
Posted.
And we're probably going to come back on the air later this week and talk Super Bowl. We'll try to get back online later this week and give our opinion on how that goes. Appreciate everybody joining us tonight in our live feed. Don't forget, you can always catch us usually on Thursdays during the off season. We're usually on Thursday nights around the 7:30 hour. But we thought it would be fitting to come on tonight and just have this discussion because everybody's
Shaq on here, bro.
Shaq is on where?
Talking, bro.
And I snapped at him. I said, man, get that out my face.
Oh my God,
yeah, this just
bro.
gets worse.
It's just more.
It's gonna get worse before it gets better. So again, we appreciate you guys. If you would do us the favor of sharing our live feed if you can. Also, if you join us in YouTube tonight, make sure you hit that bell. Appreciate you joining us. If you listen to us out in podcast land, give us a like. Give us some stars over on the Purple Podcast app, which is iTunes, or on SoundCloud on the app, or if you're on the SoundCloud website. You can always find us on Facebook, on Instagram at Academy Sports Show. You can find us on YouTube at Academy Sports Show. Yeah, I think it's only fitting that this show be solely about him.
Man,
And then we'll try to come back again later this week to give our 2 cents about
other
Super Bowl.
things.
Kansas City versus 49ers.
Is that still happening?
Yeah.
Like, come on,
And
man.
there'll be another moment of silence at that.
Jeez.
Man, this is crazy.
Man, we miss you cold, man. And thanks for the memories. Thanks for the Mamba mentality.
Right.
I mean, like, that'll never go anywhere. And I know your legacy will live on forever. But your academies, I expect Mamba academies worldwide at this point. And it's like, but you got people willing to take that torch now,
Mm-hmm.
like in all different areas. So, I mean, this is a bilingual man who went all over the world that can communicate with people that most people can't communicate with. And that's just globally.
Yeah.
They're going to, just keep that fire burning. And that family, just like you was talking about Nip, that family is royalty now.
Yep.
Can't nobody touch that family. Everybody wants to see that family succeed more than anything right now.
Yep.
And like I said, if I'm his wife, bro, I don't even know if I'm going to come outside.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even see, like, you're not going to see me nowhere for a hot second.
Yeah.
So, shout out to the sponsors, man. Mike Vaughn's Plumbing, both licensed and assured. Vaughn's Plumbing provides top quality services at great prices. Whether it's get up to cold, waterproof, and daily home services, call the man.
313-304-7786.
VaughnsPlumbing.com.
.com.
Also gives a map of all the areas that they service as well as the services that they provide. But we suggest you call the man.
313-304-7786.
Because he is the real MVP.
Also, don't forget, if you're feeling sore from your New Year's resolution, was being in the gym, working out really hard, hit up the folks at Be Well Massage Therapy. New year, new client special. All new clients will receive an additional 15 minutes added to their massage services if you book your appointments between January 1st and February 29th. So you still got about a month left. You want to hit them up at 313-472-5048. Again, that's 313-472-5048. Or you can email them at bewellmassagetherapy@outlook.com. You can tell them that the fellas from the Academy Sports Show sent you because we just want you to. Ooh, that wasn't good. Be well. Also, if you're interested in any advertisement opportunities, if you're interested in shooting us any requests, you want to hear your business read here on the Academy Sports Show, just hit us up at Academy Sports Show at gmail.com. Again, that's at Academy Sports Show at gmail.com. That's Academy Sports Show. That's 2 S's at gmail.com, and we'll be sure to hook you up.
Yeah, man. Like, it's just, you just can't stay off IG, bro. The New York is purple and gold right now. They said the Hornets came out in arm sleeves. They came out in Laker arm sleeves. So it's just
wow.
Yeah, like the it's gonna keep going. The tributes are just gonna keep going all year. And we gonna keep doing our thing too. Shout out to everybody that was in all the feeds. Like Joel said, we appreciate it. Thank you for rocking with us tonight. And we're just gonna leave it how it is. And I can't wait to post this up and get everybody else's feedback.
All right, man. Well, you guys have a great night, and we'll see you later this week with our Super Bowl special show. Good night, everybody.